You've replayed that awkward moment for 3 days. They forgot it after 3 minutes. That gap between how much you think people notice you and how little they actually do is where most of your peace has been quietly leaking out. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire and still couldn't escape the hunger for approval. Epictetus was born a slave and found freedom anyway because he stopped needing anyone's permission to feel whole. If a single unanswered message can ruin your morning, ask yourself honestly, whose life are you actually living? Today, we take the leash off. The invisible leash. You check your phone, a message sent an hour ago, still no reply. Your mind starts spinning, did I say something wrong? Are they mad? You reread your own words 3 times, searching for the mistake. This is the leash. Invisible, but real. It pulls tighter every time you wait for someone's nod before you feel okay. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet he wrote to himself at night like a man checking his own chains. He knew the emperor's robe didn't free him from this hunger, the hunger to be seen well, liked, approved of. If anything, power made it worse. More eyes, more judgment, more leash. You don't need a throne to feel this. A comment under your post, a cold reply from your boss, a friend who didn't laugh at your joke. Small pulls. But add them up over a year, and you'll find a person who has slowly handed over the steering wheel of their own life. Here's the quiet truth nobody says out loud. The need for approval isn't a personality trait, it's a habit, and habits can be broken. Epictetus, a man born into slavery, understood something most free men never grasp, that real freedom has nothing to do with your circumstances and everything to do with what you let control your mind. A slave's body can be chained, but if he doesn't need your approval, no one owns him. You call yourself free, but if a stranger's opinion can ruin your morning, whose life are you actually living? The leash is invisible. That's what makes it dangerous. You won't see it until you finally take a breath without checking who's watching. The spotlight that isn't there. Here's an experiment psychologists ran years ago. They asked a college student to wear an embarrassing t-shirt into a room full of strangers. Then guess how many people noticed? The student was sure almost everyone. The real number was less than half. They named it the spotlight effect. We believe we're the main character in everyone else's story. We're not. People are too busy running their own internal movie, worrying about their own hair, their own mistakes, their own unanswered texts, to spend more than a few seconds thinking about you. Seneca wrote to his friend Lucilius about a similar illusion. He said most men live as if the eyes of the world are always on them, arranging their lives for an audience that, in truth, rarely watches and even more rarely remembers. Think about the last time you replayed an awkward moment in your head, the stumble, the wrong word, the joke that fell flat. You've thought about it for days. The people who witnessed it forgot it by dinner. This isn't an insult, it's a relief. The spotlight you fear doesn't exist the way you imagine. You are not being watched as closely as your anxious mind insists. So the next time you hesitate before speaking up, before wearing what you actually like, before living the way you actually want, ask yourself a simple question. Who exactly is watching? And do they even remember the last thing I did? Most days, the answer is no one, and that should feel like freedom, not fear. The cost of every yes. Every time you say yes to please someone, you say no to something else. No one warns you about this math. A man agrees to a job he doesn't want because his father expects it. Years pass. He wakes up one morning wondering when his life became someone else's decision. He didn't lose it in one moment. He lost it one small yes at a time. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, don't waste the remaining part of your life thinking about other people unless it serves the common good. Not because other people don't matter, but because a life spent managing everyone else's opinion of you has no time left to actually be lived. Approval seeking has a price tag, And it's rarely paid up front. It's paid in delayed decisions, in careers chosen for applause instead of purpose, in relationships kept alive out of guilt, not love, in silence when speaking the truth would have cost someone's approval. Psychologists call it social validation, the tendency to look at others before deciding what's acceptable, useful in a burning building when following the crowd might save your life, dangerous everywhere else when the crowd is just guessing too. Seneca said it plainly, nothing is enough for the man to whom enough is little. The same applies to approval. There is no finish line. No number of likes, no amount of praise will ever fully satisfy a hunger built on other people's opinions, because the moment you get one nod, you'll start hunting for the next. The real question isn't how to get more approval, it's how much of your life you're willing to spend chasing it. What the wise man doesn't explain. Watch someone truly confident in a room. They don't over-explain themselves. They state something and let it stand. No apology tour attached to it. Compare that to the anxious version, the person who finishes every opinion with, "But that's just me," or "I could be wrong though," small phrases. But they reveal a mind still asking for permission to exist. Epictetus taught his students to separate what's in their control from what isn't. Your effort, your integrity, your choices, yours. Someone else's opinion of you, never yours, no matter how badly you want it to be. Once you understand this, over-explaining starts to look like what it really is, an attempt to manage something you were never in charge of in the first place. There's a story, perhaps embellished by history, but true in spirit, of Cato, standing firm against Rome's most powerful men, refusing to soften his position simply because senators frowned. He wasn't reckless, he simply refused to let their disapproval override his own judgment of what was right. You don't need Cato's stage to practice this. It shows up in smaller rooms, a meeting where you disagree but stay quiet to keep the peace. A decision you make, then defend for 10 minutes to a person who never even asked for your reasoning. Stop performing your defense for people who never requested one. Say the thing, let it stand. Some will disagree, that was always going to happen whether you explained yourself or not. The wise don't need everyone to understand them, they only need to understand themselves, the ones who left and the ones who stayed. Approval chasing doesn't just cost your time, it costs your people, the real ones. Think about it. When you shape yourself entirely around what will please others, you attract people who love the performance, not the person underneath it. The moment you stop performing, say a real opinion, set a boundary, disagree, some of them disappear. It stings. But Seneca offers a strange comfort here. He says, true friendship is rare precisely because most relationships are built on convenience, not character, and convenience evaporates the second it's no longer convenient. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor surrounded by advisors, flatterers, and generals, understood that the men who told him what he wanted to hear were rarely the men who could be trusted. He valued the ones who disagreed with him because their honesty proved they weren't there for his approval either. This works both ways. When you finally release the need to be universally liked, something unexpected happens. The people who stay for you, not for the version of you built to please them. The relationships that survive your honesty become the only ones worth keeping. It's uncomfortable at first, fewer nods, fewer easy compliments. But what replaces it is sturdier, respect instead of flattery, honesty instead of performance. You'll lose some people chasing approval less. That was always the trade. The question Seneca would ask you is simple. Were they ever really yours to lose? Or were they just applauding a character you were playing, practicing the muscle? No one becomes free from approval by reading about it once. It's a muscle, and like any muscle, it grows through small, deliberate reps, not one dramatic transformation. Start here. Say one honest no this week to something you'd normally agree to just to avoid disappointing someone. Notice the discomfort. Notice that the world doesn't end. Epictetus told his students to practice this like an athlete trains the body, deliberately putting themselves in small situations of discomfort so that when real hardship comes, they're not shaken by it. Approval seeking works the same way in reverse. The more you practice sitting with someone's mild disappointment, the less power that discomfort holds over you. Try wearing the opinion out loud before you're fully ready to defend it. Try posting the thing you almost deleted because you worried what people would think. Try letting a silence sit in a conversation instead of rushing to fill it with an explanation nobody asked for. Marcus Aurelius wrote his private reflections not for an audience, but to remind himself again and again of the same principles, because knowing something once was never enough. He needed the daily repetition. So do you. This isn't about becoming cold or indifferent to people. It's about no longer needing their approval as the entry fee to living your own life. Care about people. Just stop outsourcing your worth to them. Every small no, every honest opinion, every moment you let a silence stand, that's a rep. Do enough of them, and one day you'll notice the leash is gone, the quiet freedom. Picture the version of you that doesn't flinch when someone disagrees, doesn't rehearse an explanation before speaking a simple truth, doesn't scroll back through a message, hunting for the mistake that might have upset someone. That person isn't cold, they're calm. There's a difference. Cold doesn't care about anyone. Calm has simply stopped needing everyone to agree in order to feel steady. Seneca wrote that the greatest wealth is a mind content with what it already has, no external validation required to top it off. That's not resignation. That's the finish line every approval seeker is secretly running toward without realizing they're already allowed to stop. Marcus Aurelius, standing at the edge of the known world, commanding armies and burying friends, arrived at the same simple truth as a slave named Epictetus. Peace isn't found in being universally liked. It's found in no longer needing to be. You will still be misunderstood sometimes. People will still disagree, judge, or walk away. That was always going to happen, with or without your approval seeking. The only real choice is whether you spend your one life managing their reactions or living according to your own judgment of what's right. Less approval doesn't mean less connection. It means the connection you do have is finally real, because it isn't built on a performance. So the next time you feel the pull, the urge to check, to explain, to soften a true thing so it lands easier, pause. Ask yourself who you're actually performing for. Then set the leash down and walk.